So as I was just praying, this is what he showed me. And this is excites me so much. Before we all entered, he came in, and Jesus came in and he just laid out these flowers, and he lined all of the walls. And he was so intentional about laying each flower. And then he came and he laid flowers along and made like this walkway up to the front here, and then he just put all these flowers up front, and he was so intentional in it. And he was just waiting for us to come. He was just waiting for us to come. And as we came, we started to come, and we walked up the walkway, and this walkway actually led to this massive pool of water. And I heard him say, "Do you trust me?" And so as we were like, "Yeah, we trust you," we turned around and we actually did like this trust fall. You know, have you ever did one of those? This trust fall into the water. And we one by one, we came up and we just trust fall into his water. And we just started to just float. Oh, it's so good. And as we were floating in this depths of who he is, in his waters, it was refreshing, but also it just started to move us, and we floated. We had no cares, all of it was gone, and he just was taking us, and he took us out into the deeper places where it was more wide open. And as he took us into the wide open spaces, there was more of his light shining there, and it was falling on us. His light was on us, and we were just feeling fully secure and relaxed there. And then one by one we stood up on the waters. And one by one we were standing on top of the waters. And we actually linked hands, and we formed like this circle. And we were so, like, there wasn't anything happening but him. But we were so enthused with who he is that we began to dance, and the water splashed, and we made those waves with our arms, you know, linked hand in hand, and we were just enjoying him. And I'm telling you, this just still blows my mind. As we were doing that, he came. God himself, came in the middle of all of us, and he was clothed in white linen, shining so bright, it was piercing, and we fell to our faces, and tears began to flow out because of his glory and his majesty. And we were just in awe of him. And you know what he did? He began to stir, and a wind began to blow. And it started to create this whirlwind, and we began to be swept inside of him, like inside of him. We were dwelling in him, and as we were dwelling in him and swirling inside of him, one by one, he took us up and he placed us so gently and so easily, and none of us had any fear. It was actually this holy reverence that we had in our hearts. We were in so much like bliss that it was a good thing. It was a good sweeping. And he set us down along the river of life in heaven, where the trees are planted there beside, and where the trees are bearing fruit in every season. And he's basically just motioned to us, go ahead and pick the fruit. And so we did. And we were so consumed and full of him that we didn't even think about eating the fruit. You know what he said? He said, "Feed my people." So I feel like the heart of Father God is always going to be oneness and unity. That he's wanting us to be drawn unto him, but also into one another, to be yoked. And in that satisfaction, from that secret place, from that secret garden, from the trusting in him fully, from the faith to trust him to take us into a higher place, a new place. From being fully fed by him already, we ourselves can carry something. And we can feed his people. And I was just like, I just sat up and I just wrote it down as quick as I could. But I want to kind of sing around that a little bit and with the rest of the time that we have. And so that's what we're going to do. So as you're